Hi everyone, welcome back to GG Eventing. In today's video we're going to talk about desensitizing and producing children's ponies. If you watched one of my previous videos, you'll realise that actually I've just come back from a bit of a break because I had a baby. He's now 5 months old, and it's a subject I feel really strongly about, producing ponies that are really safe for little children. There are so many of them, we all, I think, look back very fondly of our childhood ponies, but they are generally quite naughty, quite nippy, quite opinionated, and it's a real thing for me to make sure that children are safe and the ponies are happy and enjoy and understand that they are working with a very defenceless little child. So very often when you go to look at children's ponies, it's great that they've been there, done it all, but very often they've picked up a whole lifetime of bad habits, and because they are normally ridden by children, the little ponies, it means that they can they know all the tricks in the book. And so what I very quickly realised when I was looking for a pony for Rupert, my son, and my niece, who's only a year old, is that I would actually personally rather produce the horses or the ponies myself, and therefore know what I'm dealing with. And everybody that then sees their ponies always comments on really how well behaved they are, what lovely natures they have, and that is really down to groundwork and what we're doing with them on a day-to-day basis that makes them so nice and so sweet around the children. So let's go and get Izzy, Rupert's pony, and I'll show you a little bit about what we do with her. So this is Izzy, this is Rupert's pony. I collected her along with another little chestnut mare called Gemma, who's out in the field at the moment, but she belongs to my niece. So we I got her before Rupert was born, and I wanted to do a lot of work with her before he arrived. She's actually only 2 years old at the moment. She'll be turning 3 next year, so she really is young. And Gemma, I think, is 3, and then she'll be turning 4 in the spring, so she's a tiny bit older. But really, age, for me, their temperaments stood out. I had hundreds to pick from, and actually these two girls were just absolutely super, as solid as rocks. And I really liked, even though they weren't handled particularly, they weren't halter broken, we've done everything with them, actually just their temperaments were really sweet from the offset. So when we first went and collected Izzy and Gemma, like I say, they weren't halter broken, they weren't particularly handled, so we just herded them onto the lorry and free travelled them like we do with most young horses. We then got them home, put their halters on, they had just their head collars, and we left them on for a couple of days so that we could just easily get them, my grooms and myself could just go in and catch them nice and quickly. They were both really friendly, so it's not like they were wild. But we then just gave them a couple of days to watch and understand and just be used to having us around on the yard. They're put into a stable, again like we would with a normal young horse that hasn't had any handling at all or much human contact. Just, mucking out, skipping out, tying up, watching other horses being taken away and coming back. Just really simple things, so they start to understand actually what their daily routine is going to be. The next thing that we started to do, they were halter trained really quickly. They came round to it as horses do, really nicely. I then, because I was quite heavily pregnant, I actually spent quite a lot of time just walking them, a little bit like dogs, away from each other. They're not allowed to be clingy towards each other, and I would walk down the lanes, on bridleways, anywhere, just literally take them for walks. So they started to see the outside world and cars and traffic, and they learnt to just walk nicely next to me, to be taken away from their friends, which is really important, and just start to see a little bit more of the world. Okay, so the next thing we started was the desensitizing. So this is something that we do with all of our young horses, let alone the ponies, but I really felt it was massively important to really get it sorted with the ponies, because essentially I want them to realise that they're not allowed to run, they're not allowed to be spooky, and they have to put up with scary things, and when they have a child on their back they just have to be really grown up and well behaved. So we start with my scary stick, yes, they really start to run. I mean, Izzy is very good, but they do, you know, they do take a little bit of this. Perhaps I'll do a desensitizing video, but you can see that Izzy's absolutely cool with it. Ooh. Look at that. There's something over there happening. Up here. I'm doing is just because Izzy reacted to that. There's quite a lot going on. I don't know if you know about that and you hear it in shot, but we're a little bit jumpy, so I just keep doing it until she just gets used to it, and I let the bag touch her all around. Good girl. She's not allowed to run, she's not allowed to go anywhere. Yeah, we see how she's now starting to lick and chew. She's a little bit worried about it today, so we just do a little bit more of it. No bother, we just stay patient. We make sure that we do the desensitizing on both sides evenly until she just relaxes. You can see, you know, she has to learn to stand. I'm not holding on to her tight. I've literally just got the lead rope around my, resting on my hand, all around there. Is that tickly? So yeah, a little bit of desensitizing with a scary stick. You can see now there's a very loud bird in that bush over there. She's just having a look. But she's really not particularly bothered by this now. Okay, so as well as a scary stick, this is a shavings bag, but a plastic bag is also good. Just go around, make sure they're fully touchable. If she was to, say, lift her leg or do anything like that, we keep going until she's really not bothered. Again, we do it evenly, around her face. Quite often do get a little bit, they're a bit sensitive around their legs. So again, we just keep going. And that's really important if you have little ones around them, grooming them, touching their legs, you know, they are at leg height. It is really important that they're okay with being touched. Good girl is. She's like, yeah, I've got this. Okay, so as well as the desensitizing, just the general day-to-day handling of them, I'm really fussy about. So, for example, nobody is allowed to treat them from hand, you know, carrots or treats or anything like that, because I don't like them to learn to be bitey or nibbly or particularly into our space. If you watch Izzy while I'm talking, you know, she's a little bit bored, but actually she doesn't try and rub on me, she doesn't push me, she just nicely stands in her space and waits to be told what to do. So no treats. The other thing is, it sounds a little bit harsh, but they're not actually allowed an opinion. So you can hear one of our new ponies calling to Izzy. She's not allowed to call back. You know, she's just walk away if she starts to call. They would have been more thingy, you know, like all young horses are. You know, they are just used to actually being away by themselves. So they're also not allowed to particularly, if I notice they particularly like another horse, you know, we kind of take them away and give them some time apart. They are put out with all my event horses and they're used as companions, so they're kind of kept in their place a little bit by older horses as well. They, you know, the horses don't really keeping them in line. And you know, they're just not allowed to be rude, they're not allowed to bite, they're not allowed to shove. They literally have to just stand and be good and be walked nicely. And that is a really massive, important part of producing well-behaved, polite ponies. And I think that it's really overlooked, especially, you do have to be strict if you know, you've got ponies you're trying to produce. Because everyone goes, oh my gosh, they're so cute, they're little ponies, oh, let's give them a treat. Or, oh, that's okay, I don't mind if they rub on me. No, you know, if they were a bigger horse, if they were 17 hands, we wouldn't let them do that. So actually it's just the same, and it's so more important because ponies or children are more fragile. So, you know, they really do have to be little superstars. Okay, so next thing is we start to get them, well, very quickly actually, within about 2 or 3 days of having them, I started putting saddles on. So Izzy, like I said, mentioned earlier, she is for my 5-month-old son. and just got her used to it. You know, we went for a little walk. I won't bother doing the girl stuff at the moment, but you know, went for little walks, and she just was absolutely, you know, fine about it because we did all the desensitizing. So she is ridden a lot in the basket saddle and is very, very used to it. So the next thing that I get them used to, and obviously Rupert isn't quite at this point yet, but Gemma, the other pony for my niece, is ridden in the cub saddle. So it's just got a little handle, because obviously they're too young really to hold the reins or understand about holding the reins. And this is actually what we use as well to lunge them in. Just like with other horses, we let the stirrups really flap around, we lunge them and get them used to having stuff moving, flapping, and they just have to get over it. So yeah, this is a cub saddle, so the next step up. We've actually, we're using spur straps as stirrups because Connie, my niece, has such tiny legs that she can't actually reach. So yeah, that's the cub saddle. And then the next one is more like a normal saddle. It's really, really lightweight. Again, they've both had this put on them and have been lunged in it. So it's just a little child synthetic light saddle. So they're also used to having that on them, working in that, getting used to the feel of it. These girls really, really are super. I mean, they are lovely natured. That's Izzy's little friend wanting to come out and be the star of the video too. What you might notice is, well, we've been doing the desensitizing and putting the saddles on, and even when Rupert rides Izzy, she doesn't actually wear a bridle yet because she is really young. You know, she's only, like I said, 2, turning 3. She has had a bit in now and she's used to having a bit, but obviously we don't need her to. You know, Rupert's not going to hold his reins, he's not going to steer, so I just keep them in a head collar. Even Gemma, when Connie rides her, we still really do that in a head collar as well. It's only when they're ridden, I've got a slightly older jockey that I use to ride them away and teach them off the lead rein stuff. We then put the bridle and reins on. So they kind of have it in, they're used to it, but we don't actually work them in bridles, particularly not needed. So I hope that this video has helped a little bit in showing just how we produce them and make them really, really good, happy ponies, really trustworthy with the children. You know, bottom line, we do lots and lots of desensitizing. They are used to a lot. They have to, you know, they are treated like horses, not like children's ponies. And I really feel that this makes them as safe as we can possibly get them. You know, obviously they are still horses, we can't guarantee anything, but you know, I really do trust them with the children, and they're kind and sweet ponies. So thank you very, very much for watching. Like I said, I hope that you found this video interesting and helpful. So remember, you can find me on Facebook at GL Equestrian and GG Eventing, on Instagram it's GG Eventing, on Twitter at GG Eventing, and yeah, and please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, GG Eventing. Take care, see you soon. You ready, Reeks? Come on then. He just hangs on like a